Good morning, everybody. My name is Rachel Maldonado-Burns. I'll be talking about Bandura's social cognitive theory. I've presented handouts for everyone to look at. It's front and back. The back has the references of where I got my information. The first item that Bandura is involved with is the triadic model, which goes with, first he believes the children have the personality, then it goes to the environment. They believe that their environment is involved with them learning, and then their behavior. So it goes all into a triangle to where it starts from the personality, then it goes to the environment of how they learn, and then their behavior goes after. And he believes in fortuity, which he calls as chance or fate. Bandura speaks of this as when he met his wife, he went into the degree he has now. So he believes that he met his wife by fate, and that the degree that he has was fate, not just because he wanted it, it was fate for himself. So he believed that it was fate for him to actually get the degree, which is a psychologist in childhood, and he believed that it was the chance and fate of him meeting his wife and also getting the degree that he has now. His modeling and observational learning. Bandura did a study that he performed. It was called the Bobo doll, and it showed aggression. So the children actually hit the Bobo doll, which is like a clown blow-up doll that he would have the children hit, and if they had aggression, they would hit it many times. If they didn't have aggression in their behavior, then they would just hit it once and they'd be done with it and not go back to it. But if they had behavioral aggression, then they would go back to the doll and continuously hit it. There are 4 main points in the observational learning that he showed is attention, the symbolic representation, which means like as if when the children they were shown aggressiveness before in order for them to show the aggressiveness towards the Bobo doll. The transformation to action, which obviously is hitting for aggression, and the motivational incentive. So they were motivated to go into and hit the Bobo doll because of the fact that they were told they were okay to do that, instead of just, no, you can't do that, and so they're motivated to be able to keep on doing that act. Self-efficacy, the exercise of control. This is a main part of his theory. He produced desired results from belief in what they're doing, mastery, success, overcoming obstacles, manage failure, social modeling skills, social persuasion, motivation from peers, arrange situations for success, physical and emotional stress, depression, stress, and fatigue make self-efficacy difficult to achieve. So self-efficacy is actually to where the child actually enjoys what they're doing instead of not enjoying. So when you teach a child and they're enjoying, for instance, math, they're enjoying it because of self-efficacy, not because of the fact that a teacher is teaching it. And when they don't have it, they're stressed out. If they're stressed out and they're depressed and fatigued, like some of the children that you hear about that are in probably lower income areas where they're depressed about because they don't have what other children have, they don't have the involvement of their parents, or they don't have the money that everyone else they see has, or anything like that. So they're depressed, and they're not able to actually produce that, get that self-efficacy of actually promoting or going into school and getting better into school grades and everything like that. Moral disengagement. Bandura's belief is that aggressive behavior is largely learned from compelling models. Obviously, the parents. Parents are big models for all children. Even if it's not the parent, it may be the grandmother, it may be the grandfather, it may be the uncle, aunt, just different models that they see throughout their lives that are older usually. They're not usually, children don't usually use models as peers. They do sometimes, but they don't always. And then the disengagement of morale is not a biological imperative. And then my references are shown below on the last page, on the other side of the page, and that's where I found all the information that I got this. Any questions for anybody? Yes, Amy?
Well, I have a question about the aggressive model that you were just talking about.
Yes.
And talking about modeling it from others. What about, does he have the era to talk about TV and these video games and that aggressive?
And that's what he does talk about with the TVs, but he's an older generation.
That's what I was wondering.
He's not like present theorists. So he's talking about in the past, before television, not really before television, but before the whole aggressiveness of the TV and the video games came into effect, because they didn't have that back then until probably 90s, if that. So he's talking more like, this is more 70s of what he was talking about. So yeah, I mean, that would be what he would be talking about if he was in the present time day. But yeah, he was showing it as, but yes, that would be exactly great example. Any other questions? Well, thank y'all very much for coming and listening to my presentation. I appreciate all of you coming and taking the time for that. And I believe that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.